Hello, it is V here for part two of how I got here. Again, I have notes. I was gonna record yesterday, but I was so dysregulated, it wasn't even funny. So if you're just catching this video for the first time, my name is V. I am an ADHD menopausal now woman who is trying to figure things out and hoping that I can build a community where we can all kind of help each other out. So, if you haven't checked out my last video, I would go check out my last video. I'm basically expanding on my story and how I got here and why this channel exists. So, from the last video, I had mentioned that I thought I had it together. I thought I was actually adulting. I thought things were working, although imperfectly. I just thought I could do this. I can adult, married, all that stuff. And then I mentioned that I hit menopause in my mid to late 40s, and everything kind of went haywire. So here is part two to that story. Um, so perimenopause and menopause, which I am now, it didn't just change my body, it completely dismantled me. And so I don't know if you can relate. I'm hoping that some of you out there can relate. Um, like I said, I had a system. I it was exhausting. It was imperfect, but I thought it was working. And all of a sudden, once I hit the perimenopause menopause thing, I kind of lost myself. I lost my ability to mask. I became completely dysregulated. I basically I felt like my whole life was collapsing. I was depressed. It was all of a sudden I went from being an adult that kind of had it together to collapsed adult with nothing together. And it all happened within a matter of like a couple of years. And it was gone. It was absolutely gone. So I just want to go over that a little bit, because, you think before you get to menopause, you think, oh, okay, you've seen some of your family members get through it, and you see, um, you know, friends, families, all that. And you think you know what you're going to get when you get to that very specific age. And what happened to me was not what I had observed. It was not what was described to me. It was basically something completely, entirely, utterly, completely different. And I had no idea what to do. I don't have health insurance, so I wasn't able to go to the doctor or anything like that. I knew, obviously, we women, we know when we're in perimenopause and when we're in menopause, our body changes, things stop. So like I said, that wasn't a question. But I went from like, okay, I had a system, I had a routine in the morning, I was able to get things done. Not perfect, but I was able to get things done. I was able to work, I was able to um, manage my hobbies. I did have a lot of them, but I managed. I took care of cats. I kept certain things in the house going. Obviously with my husband's help because, I had ADHD. So I was a little bit scatterbrained, but at least I was kind of getting by. I was, going through my own training. I was becoming a Reiki master teacher. I was becoming an animal, energy practitioner with healing touch for animals. I was doing a healing touch for humans. I felt like I was getting my life together. I took my coaching course. I got certified. I was just I was doing it. I was doing it. I even had a jewelry business where I made jewelry and I sold it. I went around pretty much I've sold jewelry in South Carolina, in New York, in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania. I thought I had something going on, but all of a sudden, I I couldn't handle tastes. I couldn't handle fabrics. I couldn't handle um, a sound. I couldn't handle smells. Let me tell you, smells. Um, it just got worse. Now, I've always had like bionic nose, like I was able to smell things that other people couldn't really smell, but it just got to the point where like if I smelled something, I would just get sick to my stomach. Um, I didn't want to go out and do things that I liked doing since basically since the pandemic, which is probably when all of this started hitting. So like in 2020, I haven't watched TV, I haven't gone to the movies, I've done anything that I used to do. My husband and I used to take walks. That hasn't happened. Um because one thing that had my chronic pain got worse. Like I've had chronic pain for a long time. I've had car accidents and I've been dealing with it, but all of a sudden it's like I could barely walk. Like I'd be sitting there in the kitchen and like my hips would just give out on me, which was the weirdest thing. Um, but I don't know. I just thought it was just a passing thing. I thought like one day I would just wake up and I could do it again. My life would be back. I could do things again. And that just never happened. And trying to explain this to friends, to my husband, to my family, I was so confused. And I just thought, like, I don't know what I thought. I did not know what I thought. I was miserable. I was miserable. And I didn't know, I just didn't know. I just didn't know. I started my research because the thing I do is because I don't have health insurance and because I have to figure things out on my own. I went on my research thing and I just researched and researched and researched, and a lot of the stuff, about my chronic pain, I couldn't find any information on it. I knew I was in menopause, so I was trying to find things, menopause and chronic pain, all this other stuff, and it was just I don't know. I couldn't find the information. I just thought, okay, is this what my life's going to be for the rest of my life? Am I going to feel broken? Am I going to feel like battered? Or am I ever get my life back? And that caused my depression to get even worse. I basically retreated in myself and I stopped. I stopped. I wasn't pulling away from anybody. I just stopped. Like it was like I was in this permanent pause state because I just couldn't figure out what was going on. I just started to feel lonely and isolated. Um, my bestie, she's, it's older than me, so it's not like we were sharing the same life changes. And I just felt like I was by myself. And I'm trying to get my thoughts together, and I have my notes in front of me. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at, my notes. Um, like I said, I'm kind of getting off a dysregulated day. I was supposed to record yesterday, but I just couldn't do it. There was a lot of stuff that happened, and I'm my brain. I'm trying to get my brain, that menopausal brain. But I think it's like the loneliness that I felt because because I lost like my coping skills. It was it was profound, and not knowing if there was going to be an end to this, if this is something that needed medical treatment, are we going to have to spend thousands of dollars figuring it out? um it was it was tough because everything that I was trying to build to uh to live, to survive. I've always been a survivor. Life hasn't always been kind. um But you figure when you're in this situation, you think to yourself, I'm like, I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. However, I get through this. This is what the survivor mentality. It just, I don't know. It just stopped. It stopped working. It felt like it was overnight, but it was probably over a period of time. And everything stopped, and I lost everything. And I couldn't find anybody to help me figure it out. I couldn't find any research to help me figure it out. It just, it left me basically dumbfounded and defeated. I think that's probably the best word, is defeated. Um, and I through my the websites that I would come across, there's a few that I came across. Um, it started to get to the point where I started to suspect, and I started to suspect that something was a little bit deeper. This isn't just menopause. This isn't just ADHD burnout. Um, Something was deeper, and something that I had never even thought about was happening. I know that's kind of hard to understand, but um, it was just, it was rough. And I started to see that there were other people who kind of felt as lost and as confused. And that's when I started to research different types of burnout. I never heard of like an ADHD burnout. I've heard of like regular burnout, where you do too much and you need to uh, you know, kind of relax and maybe take a vacation, like that type of burnout. But never I never saw myself in just like a simple burnout, because when I would try to rest up, it just wouldn't happen. I just I could never break out of this tiredness. Um, I felt like I was getting somewhere, but it just wasn't there. Um, and it's so hard to get your words together. Can any of you guys relate to this? It's like the brain doesn't want to work anymore. But Anyway, if you are in this right now and you feel completely lost, like I do, I just want you to know that I do see you. I can definitely empathize with you, and this is real. I mean, this is real. Um, I want to, I don't want this to be too long. I have another. Our next video is gonna kind of wrap this all up. Um, because I don't want these videos to be very long because ADHD people, neurodivergent people, they don't want to be sitting staring at a video for a long time. And you know what? Just put me at 1.5 speed. It's fine. That's how I watch YouTube. So, but comment below. Um, if you're in this confusion state, um, you know, what did perimenopause or menopause take from you? Like, where did it leave you? Did it throw you up against the wall and leave you for dead like it did me? Let me know how you're feeling it and if you figured out anything that has helped you. Um, the next video that I'm gonna do, like part three, they think this will be, I'll probably wrap everything up with video three. Um, but I'm gonna get into like the rabbit hole that I mentioned in my very first introduction video. If you haven't listened to that, you'll get a little bit more of a framework of what these three videos are about. Um, and just if you made it this long, thank you very much. I appreciate you. This is a very rambly video. And just so you know, a lot of my videos are very rambly because I don't edit. I'm not going to be the one that has the pretty perfectly edited, succinct, perfectly spoken videos. That's just not me. My brain doesn't work that way. My mouth doesn't work that way. And I can't be bothered to edit. So again, thank you for making it this far. In the next video, we're going to talk more about my rabbit hole that I went on when I figured out that this burnout is probably a lot more than I had bargained for or even thought about. So I hope you join me for that. And then hopefully we can start going through like things that have helped me. Like, because I have gotten to a place where I've found accommodations for myself. And so we're gonna get there. Um, so come back for video three. I will have it up hopefully in the next week, maybe week and a half. And I'll finish up my story, and then we can get on to the business of trying to figure this whole menopause, neurodivergence crap out. And I hope you join me for that journey. So I'm going to leave this video here. Um, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, just please hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the like button, thumbs up. It'll definitely help my channel. This is kind of new. There's not very much that I found about neurodivergence and menopause. And if you know of channels, pop them in the comments too, because that'll help. Maybe we can build a resource for everybody to be able to, navigate this. So, again, I'm going to leave it there. It's like 3:30 in the morning. I need to get myself to bed. Uh, have a great one, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.